Welcome to Hawkeye Rides live stream, and we have a lot of news on the forefront today. So if you are watching it later on the podcast, remember to stick in and watch throughout the whole thing because we're going to have questions and answers throughout, as well as all the big updates. We're going to start off with the 2026 Ram TRX is back. They're bringing the Hemi. I'm very excited to get my hands on it whenever it actually comes back out. And Ram has introduced the best warranty of any vehicle. 10-year, 100,000 miles. That is insane. It's going to be for all 2026 models. So if you're looking to get a deal, I'm sure they're going to be giving some crazy discounts because what I've seen so far is up to $10,000 and $15,000 off. That is crazy. Stellantis, this is some big news here. They are considering to sell Maserati. Now, there has been some spokespersons that have denied this claim, but it sounds like it's being thrown in there anyways. We already know that the MC20, they are not doing an EV. They canceled that. The only people that are looking to buy Maserati right now is a Chinese company, which I'm not a huge fan of it going that direction. And Ferrari has inquired a few times. So if it does sell to someone like Ferrari, you could probably see those vehicles appreciate quite a bit, especially like the MC20, some of the Gran Turismos. I don't know about the new Gran Turismo because that detuned MC20 engine. It's a great engine. It's just, I don't know. What are you thinking, he said?
I don't know. I don't think he would. The Gran Turismo will appreciate anytime soon.
And then there is some other talks of perhaps getting some of the vehicles coming back to the Maserati line. I don't know how truthful that's going to be, but EVs. So Maserati is going to have the QP, which is the Quattroporte for 2028. It's going to be full EV. They're also looking into hybrids a little bit more so than full EV. So I'm kind of excited to see that because that means they're going to be using a lot of Ferrari's powertrains in order to make their vehicles going forward. So I think that's going to be a lot of power for a discounted price. But again, if Stellantis sells it, more than likely the price is going to go up on all those vehicles. They're also the Renault. They're doing some lobbying for the EU because they're seeing their Chinese competitors. They're not following the EU rules, so they're trying to make that a little bit more easier for them to build more vehicles, which they're wanting to revive small city vehicles. So you'll see a lot of small little golf cart type vehicles. Not a huge fan of those. Jeep is also bringing back the Jurassic World. So they're going to have a trim for it. You'll have some badges on the side for the new Jurassic Park movie. They also have a refresh for the Jeep Grand Cherokee. I'm excited for that because if you guys have seen some of the pictures that have been exposed, it looks really dynamic, especially the front grille. You still have the signature 7-slot grille and performance. More than likely, they're going to have a Hemi probably do some crazy things. Citroen is also urging to take the C3, the DS3 off the roads because of the airbags. So if you have any of those vehicles in Europe, because we don't have them here, take them back to the dealership because you can have some issues. Nissan. Now, Nissan has some big news. The Murano, was it a mistake or not? It is a very tech-forward style. It's basically off the Aria, but a gas variant. They're using the VC turbocharged engine, but they dropped the CVT transmission. Now they got a 9-speed automatic transmission. I appreciate all that, but the styling, some people were not so ecstatic about it because it's not very dynamic looking. It's more, I would say, elegant. So what they're doing is offering dealers thousands of dollars to take inventory for the new Murano because they are starting to get a lot of vehicles waiting to be imported, and that's an issue for them. The Nissan Leaf, priced in the mid-30s, getting 10 to 80% charge in 35 minutes. I actually am excited about the Leaf because it looks like a Model Y, but discounted, 303-mile range. I think it's going to be a pretty it's a game changer. The Tesla robot taxi services are going to start in Texas in June 22nd. So that's, I don't know. It's the future of what's going to be going on. Hey guys, how are you doing? How's the new Maserati? Can we see it? Yes, we will show it later on in this segment. Nissan also is doing their EVs. They're on track. They should be coming out their first sedan in 2028 instead of 2029. So if you're looking for another EV, you can go that way. How do you like it? So far, so good. We haven't been driving it very much. That's the only thing. It's pretty fast. I think I've got it over 75 miles per hour. So, just in case there's any police officers out there, I'm doing the speed limit.
Oh,
Nothing too crazy.
speed demon.
Maybe 76-ish with some
Oh.
other digits behind it.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
fast vehicle. Have you taken it to the track? No, not yet. We don't have 200 miles. We just put the first tank of gas in it. Nissan and Honda, they might be doing some work after all, and a lot of it is to offset the tariffs. So they're going to do a collaboration to save money, which only makes sense. The new Buick Electric E5, I think it's an awesome vehicle. Is it a V8 too? No, it's a V6. They do not do V8s. They only do the V6. It has 12 spark plugs because it has 6 that start in the pre-combustion and then 6 more after. So it's, in theory, it's F1 technology. So it's pretty crazy vehicle. The MC20, that is. The Buick Electric E5, standard 30-inch screen, and it's 6K resolution. I mean, when we're considering pricing, what the heck is going on? This is a Buick. It has Bose sound system, Napa leather, 241 horsepower, between 320 and 385 mile range. That is pretty exciting because it's a Buick. What's your favorite features on your new car? I mean, it's a comfortable vehicle feature wise. It doesn't really have the technology is good, but realistically, I mean, it's a driving vehicle. It's not tech forward in the sense where there's just everything for technology. You obviously have your wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto. It is a good everyday vehicle. I have a video on it on Supercar Throttle. You can check it out. I'll try to see how I can post the link on here so that way you can check it out. The only downside is it is a little low to the ground. It does have a lifter, but still, it is what it is with that. Let's see. Mercedes recalling more than 92,000 vehicles, including the S-Class, the GLC, the SL55, the EQS for risk of fire. This is just kind of normal stuff. I hate to say it. It's been on the forefront for everybody. The smaller G-Class, both ICE and electric, they're trying to do a smaller G-Class, basically. Now, the new G-Class, that's an EV. We have a review on it. I really suggest you check it out. It's an awesome vehicle, but they're not really selling. A lot of people are not so crazy about this EV movement, in which Mercedes is also changing. They're going to be doing some more hybrids and changing their path of going EV and going a little bit more combustion. Not a big electric car fan either. The all-new CLS, I'm going to be excited to see one of those. We're going to be going to Mercedes soon. There's no more A and B class, and the EQ badging is retired. So you're not going to see that anymore. All of their electric variants are not going to be badged as EQ. So if you have those vehicles, you could potentially lose some value with them. V8s are awesome engines. They're also refreshing the GLB, which I actually talk a lot about that to my son, Issa. The GLB is kind of a crazy vehicle in the sense of pricing and what you get, because you could get a third row and you could get an AMG variant. It's not a true AMG, but the power is pretty good. Unfortunately, they're now $70,000. The all-new Lucid Gravity SUV, and I know I'm talking a lot about electric vehicles, but this one really caught my attention. Do you like the M4? Yep, it's a great vehicle. I like the M4 a little bit better than the M3. The looks are awesome. Up to 450 mile range on the Lucid Gravity, up to 120 cubic feet of storage, 20 to 23 inch wheels. You get tables in the interior, up to 828 horsepower. I mean, this thing just keeps going. 11 minutes, 200 mile range. Up to 6,000 pounds of towing in a 3.4 second 0 to 60 and it's only 198 inches long. So it's not that long like it's an Escalade, but it's long enough to fit up to 7 passengers, and you get all this performance. That is amazing. Did you custom order your Maserati? We did add some things on the Maserati. For custom stuff, I don't think there was anything. The paint was a premium paint. We did custom stuff when it went to the dealership. EV credits are on the chop block. They are probably going to be discontinued very soon. So if you are looking to get an EV, your time is getting expired to get that up to $7,500 tax credit. How long did it take? To do the custom stuff, it took them about a month almost, maybe. And then it took about a month to get it from port. So it took a little while. The G-Class SUV, we already touched base with that. The new Chrysler C100, hopefully they don't just throw a badge on that and they actually make a new C300. But Chrysler has been, I mean, it's Stellantis. They're going through a lot of stuff, so I imagine they're going to just slap a badge on it. The Hyundai Ioniq 9, awesome vehicle. Issa was actually in the review with us. You should check it out. It's on the channel. I go over everything with that vehicle. The Palisade is going to be coming out in the next few months, so we'll have that on the channel. Did you take it to a car wash yet? No. We're going to probably just wash it ourselves instead of having a car wash. We did have the dealership clean it a couple of times. This last time wasn't very good. Let's see. The new Pathfinder. No one's talking about it yet. Is it going to be a Turbo 4 or the V6 that it is? It's going to obviously have the same styling-ish as the Infiniti QX60. So I'm excited to see how that's going to come into play. We are going to have a review with the Pathfinder and the Infiniti, so you'll see the Turbo 4 versus the V6, so you can see the differences. Anything with Porsche. I am getting to Porsche in just a bit. We got a lot of news to cover. The new BMW design, big changes with the small grills. It looks futuristic, but to me, it's a little bit too much of that Tesla styling. I don't know. How do you feel about BMW with their new styling design?
They're kind of going in the wrong direction.
It's a lot of plastics in the interior. The exterior is not looking as dynamic as it usually looks. I think that they could do a better job with that. The 2026 Mazda CX-5, it looks sporty. New hybrid, it's going to be shared with the RAV4. That's on the CX-50. But some people have been saying through Mazda that they may use that powertrain and it might skip a year before they actually get the Mazda developed hybrid system. So I'm kind of skeptical to see what's going on with that. And a lot of companies do this. Infiniti's done it. Nissan's done it, where they change things like literally the next year. So it's nothing uncommon. The 2025 Cadillac Optic, we have a review on that. We did it a few months back. I think you were in that review too, maybe.
Yeah.
You went with me. Full electric vehicle. Check it out. I go over pretty much everything. We did get our hands on the new Cadillac Vistic, which has a 305-mile range, 3.7 seconds 0 to 60, between 77,395 and 92,895. But what I do indicate on this review is it's literally a baby. It's actually a Escalade IQ and a Lyric put together, forming a baby Escalade. So I think it's an awesome vehicle. If this was the new XT6 with a actual, gas or ICE variant, I would actually even consider buying it because I think they did an awesome job with the interior. The exterior, there's some areas that I think they could have, changed, especially in the back. But I do like the lighting and everything like that. What about Range Rover? What about Bentley? We are discussing, like I said, a lot of different auto news we're going over. The Toyota Corolla, looking kind of like a Prius. We're going to have an all-new 1.5 liter, 130 horsepower with a turbo to 180 horsepower. So they're also going to have an all-new PHEV. So one thing that hopefully they don't necessarily go the route like the Camry where it's only a hybrid variant, but it's a possibility because it's still kind of in the works. Audi might build a U.S. factory, which is going to cost an estimate of, $4.6 billion. They're doing this to save from tariffs. So when these tariffs hit, imagine $4.6 billion they're building so that way they can build things here. Jay from New York, 2026, RAV4, no natural aspirated engine redesign looks good. Also, the 2026 Honda CX-5, please respond. We just actually talked about the Mazda CX-5. So the Mazda CX-5 for 2026, the styling I think looks awesome. New hybrid. Now there's a mix in the reviews, and I've talked to a few different variants for Mazda, and they said that it could be sharing the same powertrain as the RAV4, or they may get their powertrain that is developed through in-house through Mazda. So I know that they've been working on it, but it may not be ready for 2026. It might be for 2027. So that is not necessarily something to be concerned about because both powertrains will be pretty bulletproof. The RAV4, I think it looks awesome, but it also kind of has that crown just lifted up. The interior is very simplified, so I appreciate that it's a little bit more cleaned up. And obviously, when we get our hands on it, I'll do the full review. But I would wait before pulling the trigger on the RAV4 or the CX5 just to give them a few months to work out some of the kinks, because anytime things are all new, you have some problems that come into play. Now, Audi, going back to the US factory, the reason why they're going to be spending this money is because they may be using it for the Q5, the Q3, the Q7 to have it assembled there. So 3 variants. Obviously, they're going to probably have some more there too. Just imagine how much money that these tariffs are going to cost the auto industry. That's insane if you're going to be spending that much extra just to build them in the US. Do you like the M8, M5? Yes, awesome vehicles. The Corvette ZR1X, 0 to 60 under 2 seconds, quarter mile less than 9 seconds, twin turbo V8, electrified with the E-Ray mix, but I'm skeptical about the price. They're stating that it should be around 190 to 250, which is supercar money. Awesome vehicle, but I'm thinking it's going to be more like 350 to near $400,000, because the Mustang GTD you've seen, it's like $330,000. And most dealerships for these cars are going to add addendums to it, which are going to cost quite a bit of money. It's a all-wheel drive hybrid with 1,250 horsepower combined, 829 pound-feet of torque. I mean, what's your thought about that?
I mean, I think it'd be worth the money. I don't think it's going to be supercar valued at 0-1.
Yeah, I feel like it's when you start getting that expensive, it starts changing the whole ball game of the vehicle.
But
it is crazy power.
It's hypercar.
All-wheel drive, and the interior is finally updated. They no longer have the Great Wall. They have a wall without the buttons. It's a little bit lower, so it actually fits 2 people a little bit more comfortably.
I mean, I would see as a car that I would have in my garage. You know, it'd be a supercar killer.
Yeah, I guess
Pretty
so.
crazy performance.
Yeah,
for
I mean,
price.
for the price and services, I mean, I like Lamborghini, like Brown Eyes keeps talking about, but I hate to say it, that Corvette would be a steal of a deal, a lot faster, a lot cheaper to maintain and keep on the road, and it has that wow factor to it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty insane. And then, so what else would you buy a Ferrari? I mean, Ferrari, that's actually the other thing we wanted to touch bases with, is they are starting to look away from the EVs. They're not selling so well. I think their sales are under 1,800 units for the year, which is not necessarily uncommon, but when you're putting it in perspective for EV sales, it's not what Ferrari was looking for. So they're also looking to put some of that on the chop block and go back to maybe some hybrids and some ICE variants. So I appreciate that. A lot of the automotive industry is actually changing to this as well. So it's nothing uncommon. Every time we get somebody new in power, they're obviously changing the direction of what we should be doing or what we should be buying, in which now the direction is being changed back to gas variant vehicles. I would like to see some diesel vehicles being produced back in the US, because that you can get a lot of power and they're great on MPGs. And they're also a lot more eco-friendly to the environment than these gas variant vehicles. Why would somebody buy a Ferrari buy an EV Ferrari? Doesn't make sense. People buy a Ferrari for the sound. That's actually what they were saying on their post, that most of their buyers are looking for the exhaust note and they don't want something that's quiet. Honda is going to start doing some 3D printing to create classic parts, like for instance the NSX. So I think that's awesome, and I think it's also cool that Nissan and Honda are doing that little venture into possibly doing some work together for the collaboration, because that's going to make things a little bit easier, because as we all know, the Nissan Leaf is also, they're closing the plant in the US, they're going to keep it in Japan, And it's not for the tariffs. They actually specified that the reason why they're doing it is because they just have more sales in other areas opposed to North America. So it just makes sense to go that direction. And as for Ford, this one was actually something that we talked about when we went to breakfast today. The Ford CEO said that they believe most people looking for cars don't care what's underneath the engine, what's underneath the hood. I mean, let me know your thoughts on that, because I personally do care what's underneath the hood of the vehicles. So we're going to finish up the live stream a little bit early today. Thank you guys for coming out, and we will check us out on the live stream next week, as well as check out the memberships and the new channel, Supercar Throttle. I'll try to put a link. Actually, the link of Supercar Throttle is already on the community tab, so you can just click into there, so that way you can see more of the MC20 and some of the things that we're doing. Have a great weekend, and thank you guys for coming out. I should have done it